Hi, and you're now with the Forerunner Chronicles. Right now we're out in Austin, Texas. This is Austin, right?
Yes.
We're in Austin, Texas. And I'm here with Amy, a good friend Amy, helping us work on actually the Exit the Matrix documentary. And she has a really good, important story to share with us about chemtrails. Can you tell us our story about chemtrails?
I'll start from the beginning. It started where my husband saw these trails in the sky, and we had previously heard of the chemtrails, and so he started taking these pictures of them, and they were right up here, right over the field here, and there was quite a few of them. And then about 2 days later, this whole town, we live in a pretty small town here right outside of Austin, the whole town just got severely sick. And I was one of those people. I got a strep and laryngitis, and I mean, I hadn't been sick like that ever in my entire life.
So what you doing?
So, I mean, I hadn't even been to the doctor in years, and I was so sick that Tim said, get in the car, we're going to the emergency. So I go to the emergency, and actually, this goes into kind of another story, but even the nurse that they did diagnose me with the strep, and that it was a severe case of it, and I know that it was going around, but he was a nurse that actually gave me the shot, and he said this was, that there was all these different strands of these viruses going around, some of them that they had never heard of or seen.
Wow, okay, wow. So you're saying that when you went there to the hospital, emergency room, right?
Emergency.
And then the nurse came to you, he said that there's different strands
there were well, they put the actual, the vaccine, they developed the vaccine before the flu even comes out.
Right, exactly.
So he said that the vaccines that they were using were not treating these strands of viruses. They were not, they were diagnosing them, they'd give them the vaccination, it wasn't doing anything.
So it's something different from what they were common or used to dealing with, right?
Right.
Okay, got it.
And then this even goes into another story. They gave me the shot of penicillin, which was such a large dose that
you were telling me something about the nurse's reaction, right?
The nurse was looking at it going, whoa, why are they giving you so much penicillin?
Right. And
I was so sick at that time, like to the point where I couldn't even stand up, which I had never been like that. And so I got the shot because I wanted to get better because I was extremely sick. And the very next day, I had such a severe reaction, and I'm not allergic to penicillin, that my kidneys swelled up so big, and it lasted for about 2 weeks, where I couldn't get out of bed. And the last thing I wanted to do was go back to the doctor, because they're the one that put me in this state in the first place. So. And
all this happened after you saw some chemtrails in the sky.
Yes, and I'm not a chemtrail expert, I don't know, but I do know that it was a coincidence that everybody in this town got sick. I mean, my girls were in school at that time, and
what's the name of the town?
This is Wimberley, Texas.
Wimberley, Texas.
Yes.
Is that something common that you see in the area, chemtrails?
Yes, we see them all the time. Over here and over in Austin a lot.
Right.
We see them a lot in Austin.
But everybody getting sick pretty much at once in the town, that was a little freaky.
A little freaky.
Okay.
And right after we saw so many of them.
Wow.
That was...
Amy, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right.
Now, you may think that what you just saw was some lame, juvenile campsite story. But I want to assure you, chemtrails are definitely real. For those of you out there that are not familiar with what chemtrails are, they're those cloud-like lines that you see in the sky, and they look very similar to contrails. Now, contrails are those jet streams that planes leave behind them when they pass by overhead. But there's a huge difference between contrails and chemtrails. You see, contrails, they just dissipate and vaporize after a few moments. But chemtrails, these jokers can linger in the sky for hours. Researchers have found out that the main ingredient in these chemtrails is this substance called barium. Now, what barium is a soft metallic water-soluble agent, and it's very toxic. If it's introduced into the human system at high levels, it can cause swelling to the brain, swelling to the kidneys. It can cause disorders to the nervous system. It can cause cardiac disorders. It can also bring about symptoms of, that's right, strep throat. And if you're exposed to this nonsense over a long duration of time, it can immensely weaken your immune system. Now, researchers have also said they don't know whether or not barium can produce carcinogenic agents in the human body. And what carcinogenic agents are cancerous agents. And the reason they don't know whether or not this barium can produce carcinogenic agents in the human body is because they haven't done one iota of research on human beings to find out whether or not if barium produces carcinogens in the human body. So why would the government allow these different corporations to pollute the North American airways with this nonsense that can cause all of these disorders and quite possibly be able to produce cancerous agents in you and myself?